The fourth round of NASCAR's in-season tournament continues this weekend, finally back on intermediate oval track. In this video, we're going to look back at the round 3 matchups from Sonoma, while also previewing the round 4 matchups for Dover. First up, we had Ty Dillon finishing in 17th position, defeating 8th seed Alex Bowman, who finished in 19th position. Pretty good execution of the bump and run at the end of this race to take this position from Bowman. Bowman had it going into the last corner. Dillon said it best himself, $1 million means a lot to that team. He went for it, Dillon moving on to the 4th round. This one was very close, John Nemechek defeating 20th seed Erik Jones in the Legacy Motor Club battle. Nemechek 28th, Jones 29th. Neither guy had a very strong day they were competing for right until the end, Nemechek moving on into the final 4. 15th seed Ryan Preece having a very strong run, finishing in 12th position at Sonoma, but Tyler Reddick finishing 6 positions better in 6th place. He moves on out of this bracket. Last but not least, Ty Gibbs finishing in 7th position, 20 positions ahead of Zane Smith, the 14th seed, who finished out in 27th position. Fartward Motorsports not moving on to the final 4. 32nd seed, Ty Dillon, 12th seed, John Nemechek. First, I wanted to go over how each driver got here. Ty Dillon, 32nd seed, he took down the 1st seed Denny Hamlin at Atlanta, 17th seed Brad Keselowski at Chicago, and as we just mentioned, the 8th seed Alex Bowman at Sonoma. So Dillon has had to take down 2 seeds inside of the top 8. Pretty surprising to see him going this far, but I am all for the underdog story. John Nemechek, on the other hand, only had to defeat a higher seed once. First race at Atlanta, he defeated Josh Berry, who was the 21st seed. At Chicago, he defeated Atlanta winner Chase Elliott, who was the 5th seed. That's the highest seed he knocked out of this tournament. And then, of course, as we just mentioned, he defeated 20th seed Erik Jones at Sonoma. Taking a look at the matchup here at Dover, Ty Dillon with a best finish of 27th, a 31.5 average finish at Dover in the next-gen car. Not very strong, that is across 2 starts. John Nemechek, on the other hand, has only made 1 start at Dover in the next-gen car, and that was a 20th place finish last year. In the next-gen car, on track shorter than 1 mile in length, Ty Dillon a 26.4 average finish. John Nemechek 3 positions better than that with a 23.4. So pretty comparable for these guys, both drivers running around the mid-20s on these mile and less tracks. Widening the scope to look at these two drivers across the 2025 NASCAR Cup Series season, Ty Dillon, the 32nd seed, is 32nd in the point standings, only 1 top 10 on the season. John Nemechek, 20th in points, 6 top 10s and 1 top 5. That 42 car has been running very strong this year. In the top car battle between these two guys across the season, Nemechek winning this one 12-8, so pretty close for these guys. Dillon definitely has a chance to carry on the upset here. I wanted to look at some relevant results in 2025. These are all tracks shorter than 1 mile in length, as well as Nashville due to the fact that it's the other concrete surface that we run here. Nemechek beat Dillon by 2 positions at Phoenix. Dillon beat Nemechek by 10 positions at Martinsville. Nemechek with the better finish at Bristol by about 11 positions, and then Dillon beating him by 1 position at Nashville earlier this season. So a 2-2 tie for these two guys on comparable tracks, short tracks, and a concrete surface. Martinsville also has the concrete corners, take that for what you will. This is going to be a pretty close matchup. I'm cheering for Ty Dillon. I want the underdog story. The 32nd seed to make the final would be awesome. 23rd seed Tyler Reddick, 6th seed Ty Gibbs. Taking a look at how these guys got here, I said it in the first episode of this series, it felt weird calling Tyler Reddick an underdog in some of the first matchups because he was such a low seed. Here he is in the final 4. Reddick eliminated the 10th seed Kyle Larson in round 1 at Atlanta, Carson Hocevar, the 26th seed, race 2 at Chicago, and then just defeated Ryan Preece, the 15th seed at Sonoma. So Reddick has defeated 2 seeds that were higher than him to get here. Ty Gibbs, on the other hand, has yet to do that. Every seed he has defeated has been lower than him. He defeated the 27th seed Justin Haley at Atlanta, 22nd seed AJ Allmendinger at Chicago, and then 14th seed Zane Smith at Sonoma. So Gibbs probably has had the easiest road of these 4 drivers to this point. Nonetheless, going to be a good matchup between these guys in pretty comparable equipment. Reddick has made all 3 starts at Dover in the next-gen car, a best finish of 7th with a 16.0 average finish across those 3 starts. Ty Gibbs has only ran 2 races at Dover in the next-gen car. 10th is his best finish, 11.5 his average finish, so Gibbs been up front in both of these races. Better average finish than Tyler Reddick. When you look at all tracks shorter than 1 mile of length in the next-gen car, Tyler Reddick a 16.8 average finish, about 2 positions better than Ty Gibbs, 18.9. Again, very close matchup between these two guys on this track and all comparable tracks. Breaking this matchup down in 2025, same deal, a 12-8 top car lead, this time for Reddick over Ty Gibbs. Reddick currently top 5 in points, 8 top 10s and 5 top 5s. Gibbs has been turning it around the last few weeks, 5 top 10s and 3 top 5s. He has now just cracked the top 20 in points in 19th. Again, a 2-2 split on comparable tracks here. Phoenix, Tyler Reddick was better than Ty Gibbs by about 5 positions, was 1 spot behind him in Martinsville. Gibbs with a very strong 3rd place run at Bristol, Reddick finished in 18th. And then at Nashville, Reddick inside the top 10 and 9th, Ty Gibbs down in 31st position, the comparable concrete surface. This one obviously has all the outside noise involving what's going on with 2311. I wonder how that's going to affect Tyler Reddick. I still think the 45 car moves on here and makes it to the final. I'm going to pick Tyler Reddick. I briefly mentioned this with the final 8. Now we're going to look at it again with the final 4. 3 of these 4 drivers have never even won a NASCAR Cup Series race, so we are for sure going to have a driver in the final who has never won a Cup race. I think that's really cool. That means a lot more for these smaller teams. As Ty Dillon mentioned, the money here for Legacy or colleague would be pretty big, definitely compared to 2311 and Joe Gibbs Racing. Reddick, the only winner on this list, he has 8 wins over his career, all 8 of those coming in NASCAR's next-gen car. Nice to be back on some regular ovals here for the final 2 weeks, Dover and Indianapolis. I think it's going to be a great close to this tournament. I still wish they would have done this to start the tournament, then maybe have Atlanta somewhere in the middle. Nonetheless, here we are, we're going to have 2 oval racetracks. I think it's going to be a pretty good gauge on speed. And bearing any mechanical issues, you're going to see the best driver advance on this one. It's not going to be like a road course where someone gets junked on a restart, or on a pack racing track like Atlanta where there was that big accident that took everyone out. I think this is going to be very indicative of the speed that these cars have had all season long, and hopefully we can have 2 good clean races where all these guys can fight to the end. Thanks for watching.